Welcome back, everybody. We are in for our final bout of the evening between Arch Rival and Rose City. I'm Champ Unkind.
And I am Go-Go Boots. So, just the two little quiet teams that we might not have seen that much of before.
What? I can't hear you. They're loud. That's okay. Yeah, you may have heard of these teams. They may have played once or twice in the past.
Yeah,
maybe.
they've done a few bits and pieces.
Their paths have crossed. The games have been played. But, Go-Go, let's find out who's playing for Rose City tonight.
Okay, so on the Rose City roster, we have 0 Zip, 0 Una Roll, 16 is Beyond Thunderdame, 21 is Stan the Woman, 210 is Tenacity, 23 is Gallifrey, 24 is Beans, 247 is Mia Palau, 28 is Alicia Nisbet-Smith, 316 is Eve Ann Helical, 340 is a little person called Bunny Thunders, 360 Big Bang Fury, 401 is Tarantula, 49 is Casey Beck, 65 is Simonis, 700 is Spring Roll, 757 is Morgan Levy, 77 Lauren Much, and 79 is Little Regulator. The coaches are Kyle Adams and Rosemary Baby.
And for the home team, Arch Rival, we have number 1057, Shira Powers, number 15, Bolt Action, number 1853, Vicious Can't Go-Go, number 1900, Cloak and Drag Her, number 2012, Wild Side, number 23, Pegasus, I'm going to say that a few times. Number 32, Shaquille O'Neal, good number. Number 56, Birdsong. Number 567, Splatter. Number 6080, Dad Bod. Number 618, Cruella. Number 68, Swanson. Number 718, Lux Furious. Number 810, K Woodward. Number 87, Sue Bob Fight. Number 87, Hart. Number 904, Aaron Gerbrell. Number 911, Pork Chop Sandwich. And number 919, Skeevy Nicks.
So we've got the 5-second mark, and we have our players up on the line. I do believe that's Vicious Van Go-Go for Arch Rival, and Lauren Much skating for Rose City.
Tarantula with a good block early to the inside now, going up against Nisbet-Smith. And that Rose Wall in the back.
Lovely little assist there from 247.
Laura Much out first, lead jammer Rose City. Now you might wonder why we're being a little quiet here in-house, or wonder why we're being a little loud on the stream. It's because you're all listening to us. Vicious Can't Go through the pack. No points picked up. 2 points for Rose City.
And 0 for Arch. We saw a nice little action there from Bolt Action, knocking Lauren Much out, making sure that they could only score the 2 points.
Now, who is that on the Rose City line? Is that Bonnie Thunders?
Is that Bonnie Thunders? I do believe we have Bonnie Thunders with the star for Rose. And my view isn't so great to see.
No, we're short. We didn't have the budget for that. It is Bonnie Thunders through first, lead jammer.
Bonnie out of the pack. But it looks like we have number 68.
Swanson. Bonnie Thunders calls it off after picking up 3. So 2 jams in, and Arch Rival has held Rose to under full 4s on every single jam of the 2.
Of the 2.
Every single of the 2.
We saw a really nice sweeping action there earlier to make sure that they tried to lock Bonnie Thunders down on her first jam there. But she's kind of known for having a little bit of speed, a little bit of tenacity on track.
1 blocker in the Permobile penalty box. Rose doing some good blocking there and back as always, and good blocking there by Arch, pushing the jammer all the way back behind the jam line. Beyond Thunderdome is beyond the pack. Picking up lead jammer for Rose. That's 3 for 3. And open that door There's 4. That wasn't supposed to rhyme. That just kind of happened.
But it did rhyme.
I didn't script it. This is a real sport.
This is a rhyming sport. We're going to do that. We saw Kay Woodward grabbing a little star pass there, trying to get out.
I don't know. I was reminded this is a real sport.
I mean, it is and it isn't. It's a little heart sport for us. Rose City with 9 on the board, a 4-point pass there. Arch Rival still waiting to get some points. We're currently 26 minutes and 50-something seconds.
Going into the 4th jam, that is that is Zip for Rose City. So new jammers on every jam so far for both teams.
Yep.
Hart pushed out to the outside.
Got a really strong wall at the front there. Dad Bod holding on as that tripod.
Yeah, Zip is just locked in there right now. To the outside, good blocking there by Dad Bod. I can appreciate that name.
And I think that is Hart jamming for a little pullback there. That's 5, 6, 7 pulling back the jammer. That is Splatter.
Zip getting pushed to the outside again. Again, we do not have, yes, we do, a lead jammer. It is Hart. That is Arch Rival's first lead of the evening. Good blocking there by Gallifrey. No points picked up by Arch, unfortunately, but they did break the lead jammer streak of Rose City.
Exactly. Yeah, Gallifrey really locking that down, making sure that Arch Rival's jammer was just pushed out. And because we'd had Zip released from the pack, we saw Arch's coach team going, you know what, let's just finish that.
Yeah, exactly. When you have 2 in the box to start off for Arch, and Lauren Much, a very quick lead jammer.
That was a blink and you'd miss it.
Well, again, you have 2 blockers in the box. That,
yeah.
You know, when you have Lauren Much, there's a good chance that's going to happen. And there is Vicious Can't Go through the pack. 4 points for Much before having to call it off.
Yeah, so we've seen Vicious Van Gogh wearing the star in previous seasons, but has been doing a little more blocking of recent. But it's always nice to see Vish wearing that star and speeding along the track.
Eventually, everybody would rather be a blocker. I think that's just like the natural progression. Just some people, it just takes a little longer.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Dad Bod trying to hold Bonnie Thunder's back, but Bonnie out of the pack like lightning.
Speaking of people who never outgrew it, Bonnie Thunders.
And we see Swanson.
Right you are, Go-Go Boots. Bonnie Thunders calls it off, picking up 3 points.
So we are about 7 minutes into this game. Rose City with 16 points, Arch Rival with 0.
Now they've held Bonnie Thunders to 6 points in their 2 jams. The legend. So feel good about yourself.
Absolutely.
Not an easy task.
These are 2 teams that are veterans, to say the least. And as I've been saying to some of the audience members today, these are 2 teams that have retained a lot of their veteran members. So it's going to be a really interesting mashup. And we have a cut track being assessed to the Arch Rival jammer.
That would be Slamwich going to the Permobile penalty box. So we have our first, it's a 1-2 switcheroo. The power jam reversed.
That is Beyond Thunderdame with the start for Rose. Coming up around the front of the pack, being knocked out there.
Beyond Thunderdome stays in the track.
So with no lead jammer, this will be going for the full 2 minutes. No call-offs. None of that.
It is Thunderdome.
Yeah.
But hopefully everybody leaves. We do like safety here. That's why we always thank our medics, wherever they are. I don't know where they are right now, but thank you. It's not my job to know that.
It's not your job. It's okay.
They don't pay me for that.
At the moment, I'm able to do the easy math, but, when we get later on, that's going to be a little more difficult.
That's 8 points now on the jam, bring it up to 24-0.
Arch Rivals Jammer, pork chop slamwich.
Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and derby. There's 4 points for Rose City. Beyond Thunderdome, that was not easy, but made it look a little easier than it probably was.
No, we understand that it is not an easy game.
Slamwich out of the pack. And there's Beyond Thunderdome. Hop to the outside. 4 more on the board, bringing it, doubling the score in a single jam now to 32. But, hold on, I see some wiggling fingers. Yeah, Arch Rival gets on the board, their first 2 of the evening for the home team.
And Arch Rival also calling a timeout there, which is very, very smart. You just had a jam with 16 points, the highest scoring jam of the game so far. You're going to want to take a little breath, reassess, and get back out there.
Absolutely. It started off a little sloppy with some penalties, but eventually it all kind of smoothed out.
Yes.
They didn't have a choice because they couldn't call it off, though.
That's
the rules.
We will at some point get a little look at that penalty board, but probably more in the half time.
We're not making any promises, though.
Yeah, we're definitely not going to make any promises.
I just forgot what we were already talking about.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Beyond Thunderdome. Yeah, I was watching Mad Max, okay? You can't. It's my favorite movie. I just wanted to do puns. All right, anyway. Both jammers inside the pack. Hit to the inside. I do hear a whistle. I don't know if there was a penalty being blown. No, there was not. Zip, push to the outside.
And we have lead jammer for Arch. That is Heart for Arch.
Hard push back to the inside, now to the outside. Great hit there by Stan the Woman.
And we have another Arch Rival blocker going into the box now. It looks like we had a little star pass. That was to 247. And that was Mia Palau.
Yes, a 3-0 on the jam. Holding Rose scoreless for the first time this evening. Yes, that has not changed yet.
That has not changed?
Yet. 1 in the box to start. It's Lauren Much with the star for Rose City. Moving to the outside. Sandwiched between some players there, but does get through.
Yep, Lauren Much with the lead. Taking
Good
a
blocking
nice
there.
hit there.
That was Cloak and Dragger. But Lauren Much does get back through.
And it looks like Vicious tried to do a sneaky, I'm going to do a star pass. And we got some blockers for Rose City going into the box, and we are locking down Lauren Much right now. Fantastic assist by Alicia Nisbet-Smith there.
Ouch.
Tarantula also doing some assisting. But now we have Alicia Nisbet-Smith solo.
Yeah, a little bit of confusion there too, but Vicious Can't Go takes advantage of it. Sneaky 4 points there as the Rose City penalty box fills up.
And we see Lauren Much. We see Lauren Much doing a little blocking there.
I mean, only one blocker. You do what you can do.
So at the moment,
all right, you guys can say, y'all can say Van Go-Go. Our sheets say Can Go-Go, so we're just reading.
Yeah, I taught Vicious Van Go-Go everything she knows. That was all me. No.
And here is, I believe it's pronounced Biani the Unders.
Yes.
I believe Biani the Unders. And I can't see who that is. So it's like 90% of the time.
Okay, a nice little timeout has been called there. So yeah, looking at the score, we have Rose City with 47 and Arch Rival with 17. So that's math that I can do. That's a 30-point differential between the two. But Arch Rival doing a really nice job with that last jam. Rose City will be starting with 2 blockers in the penalty box.
That'd be Tara Antula and Alicia Nisbet-Smith.
So while we're waiting for a timeout, if you are in-house right now, we have a beautiful selection of merchandise from several different teams that are here playing this weekend. I think the gatekeepers have also put on a nice spread of local merch being done by Double XL. So if you are in-house and you haven't got a t-shirt yet, feel free to go over there and get some stuff.
And it's Swanson on the line for Arch. Now going up against the 2-all of Rose City blockers. Bonnie Thunders has been held back. But to the inside.
Fantastic job there. That is Swanson out of the pack. Bonnie locked down.
Pack moving pretty quickly here. Swanson moves to the outside, stays in bounds, picks up 4 points.
That was a lovely little side sweep there from 757, Morgan Levy. Just trying to get Bonnie out as quickly as possible, but we are resetting now for a new jam.
I believe that's Beyond Thunder Dame.
Yeah, we have been saying that name incorrectly previously, but we will make sure that we are...
Say it more incorrectly. They don't call me Champ Nice Guy.
But Beyond Thunder Dame at the front of the pack there, getting a battering from those Arch Rival blockers. But Pork Chop Slamwich is also facing off against some incredible blocking
you
by
can't
Rose.
even see Slamwich completely absorbed into the pack there. And amongst the chaos, it is Thunder Dame through the pack lead jammer Rose City. Thunder Dame back in the pack.
And that wall is just locking down. We see Kayla Woodward at the front holding that tripod down. But I do believe that's Mia Palau offering some fantastic assistance.
Thunder Dame takes the advice of the coach, calls it off. Quickly, 4 points. It's a 4-0 jam now, 51-21. Rose City on top as we are about to hit the first quarter mark of the game.
So I definitely feel that this game is, I might be being a bit silly here, but this game feels very physical for both of these teams.
Well, that's
these
usually
are teams that are really, really used to those big hits and strategic gameplay. Loving that twirling from Zip.
Just, I don't know how people can do that, but it's amazing when they do. And to the inside, lead jammer Zip.
And we have number 89. That is Hart.
Nice. That was a great move there. I wonder if Zip figure skates. If not, look into it.
We can definitely recommend figure skating as a hobby.
There's more money in it.
People make money from roller derby?
There could possibly be a positive net gain from a switch like that. I'm just saying.
If anyone knows how to make money from roller derby, please let me know.
Yeah. Here we go. It is Lauren Much and Vicious Van Go-Go. But she can go-go, so it's not a lie.
Vicious at the front, facing off against Alicia Nisbet-Smith. Oh, fantastic hit there. But it looks like a penalty being assessed to Kayla Woodward. And
whoa!
Just a little dip under a blocker.
Just a little dip. Little dippity-doo.
I feel like if you look up how to get low.
That's a dippity-don't.
Yeah. And Lauren Much with the 4 points on the board.
Go inside the pack. Sibling for room up against Tarantula. The inside helped by Cassie Beck.
Lauren Much just hurling into the pack and slicing through. Really trusting her blockers to do some of that hard work.
And look how the blockers just drop back there in perfect unison. Seriously, synchronized skating, money.
Yeah, these are definitely two teams as well that I've said before. They are titans in the field, and we get to see this beautiful action at work.
3 points for everyone on that last jam, or on that last pass. 11-3 on the jam. 66-24 is the score. And stop rhyming. I'm not even trying.
We have 12 minutes roughly left in this game. And we see people kind of at the pivot line to start with.
Permobile penalty box is empty. Bonnie Thunders getting pushed to the inside, now to the outside. That arch defense. A hit from Gallifrey to break it up. Just knocking into the anchor. And oh, good block there by Simonis to finish it off. Pack reforms in front.
Just locking down Swanson. Everyone getting locked down right now. And the crowd is very happy to see Arch Rival getting that lead jam now.
Swanson's into the pack. Hit there to the inside. Calls it off. 2 points, 2-0 against Bonnie Thunders and Rose City. I'm sorry, 3-0. One more. So 66-27.
So I was speaking to a lot of people earlier on, and definitely pegged this is going to be one of the most exciting games of the weekend. And I feel that they're not wrong. So far, we are seeing some really fantastic, strong derby from both of these teams.
It's Beyond Thunderdame and Skeevy Nix.
I think this is the first jam for Skeevy for this game.
And Stevie to the outside, lead jammer, arch rival.
Skeevy Nix coming back around, taking
Whoa!
taking a little jump, and 4 points on the board.
Right into the photographers too. Please tell me you're going to post that on Facebook in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, we are definitely going to want to see that as a photographic action replay.
Like that should be rushed right there. That was
I
awesome.
can see people fanning themselves in the audience.
It's like the play of the game you wait for right there.
Yes.
And looks like someone's going to take a timeout maybe to talk about how awesome it was.
Yes, we can have. This is a little break for us to talk about how awesome this game is, how awesome that jam is. Everything is just fantastic in St. Louis today.
I just got here.
I feel like people are going to be talking about that jam for the rest of the weekend, and rightly so.
What jam?
What jam? Oh no, he's got amnesia once again.
Sorry, I saw a shiny object. Got distracted. Shiny object like Create and Skate Factory. Free. I don't know how. That was a terrible segue. Free shipping on orders over 50 euros. Okay. And there are also discount bundles because we use euros here in Missouri.
Yes.
And there are also discount bundles or buying more. What? If you are buying more. Sorry. Also, a queer charity print where 100% of the proceeds go to Point of Pride, which gives direct aid to trans folks. www.createandskatefactory.com.
And you can also follow them at Creative and Skate Factory on Instagram. And that is definitely worth making a trip.
It is Hart for St. Louis. Or, I'm sorry, for Arch. We don't use city names here. Oh! And that's another lead jammer for Arch Rival.
And we see the action going very fast right now.
Wise decision.
We saw Hart there seeing Lauren Much skating towards them and just decided to like duck and cover.
Yeah, don't see that every day.
Like we know Lauren Much skates like lightning, so let's just try and avoid getting hit there.
It is Zip and Swanson. The permawheel penalty box is currently empty. Knocking the brace, but good recycling by Rose City and Arch Rival.
We're just seeing a mashup of all of these people here.
Zip to the outside, and there is the call, track cut. It is going to be a power jam in favor of the home team, depending on where you're watching from.
And we see the Rose City blockers just trying to lock down.
And now they're down a blocker as well as Cassie Beck goes to the permobile penalty box. And
they are not making it easy.
All right, so she does call it off. It will force the power start. Though Zip is standing. So it'll be less than 10-second remaining power start, but still does give Arch a little bit of an advantage.
Just a tiny advantage.
Just a teeny, tiny little advantage.
We also
Actually, it's a bigger advantage than we're exaggerating the tininess of the advantage.
And the pack is hustling around. We see those blockers just trying to lock down, but no, we have a lead jammer for Arch Rival. That is Vicious Van Gogh.
The Arch has been keeping this close all game. It's with moves and plays like this.
We saw Bolt action just jumping to get out of Vicious Van Gogo's way.
Zip took off the star, snuck through the pack, but Gogo picks up a full 4 and calls it off.
And we are 6.5 minutes left in this game, this half, sorry. I swear I am awake. It might not look
We're
it.
both on East Coast time.
Yeah,
This whole Central time thing, this time zone is terrible.
there's a reason why we haven't turned the camera on to look at us, which I'm kind of pleased of right now.
All right. It is Bonnie Lightnings. Oh, I'm sorry, Bonnie Thunders. Whoops.
Yeah, Bonnie Thunders at the front there. Oh, fantastic assist there. But I think I might have inflicted a penalty for 24 beans.
And there goes Bonnie, lead jammer. Has been said so many times in so many big games.
Bonnie just slicing through the outside there.
And that's why.
Okay.
Swanson takes off the star, but does get through the pack.
Just
Nice.
twirling away, but knocked out very nicely by those arch rival blockers.
Interesting move. Bonnie Thunders allowing an Arch to get 4 points on the board there. Now
I was going to say, Bonnie seeing her opponent coming up on the inside line and calling it before any more points are put on the board. We have an 8-2 for 8-4 for that.
Yeah, Bonnie
that
was able to get the points, got pushed back, called it off. So still the advantage for Rose. Once you're up, the clock is on your side. And we still have a whole nother half. It never ends.
I'm going to take this opportunity to thank our wonderful ref crew and our NSO crew and all of the volunteers here this weekend.
I believe.
And volunteering to have a race-off, we have Lauren Much and we have Hart up against one another. Just killing some time on the clock right now.
Look at this speed skating. You'd think it's USARS. Oh, I said the U word.
And I do believe Lauren Much, even though she didn't have lead there, managed to sneak in a little 2 points. Very pleased to have got an extra 2 points on the board. We're looking at Arch Rival with 42, Rose City with 76. And we have maybe another couple of jams in our pockets for this half.
Curse of the announcer, 12 more jams.
With the way some of these skaters go, I wouldn't be surprised.
And it's Beyond Thunderdame and Skeevy Nicks. Beyond Thunderdame out of the pack, but Skeevy Nicks unable to break the chain.
Beyond Thunderdame just making it look kind of easy.
Yeah, well, I agree to disagree. When in Rome.
That's another 4 points on the board for Rose, bringing it up to 80. So we've got, I want to say, a 38-point differential.
Yes, good math.
I did math.
That is a not American education right there. That's a
mean,
good thing.
I mean, it happens every now and again. I do occasionally have people think that I'm Australian, which is always interesting.
I haven't heard you say wallaby or dingo yet, so
No.
I don't think you are.
No, I haven't said it. I will say cheerio occasionally if people pay me some of the Benjamins. I'll say cheerio.
I'd like to acknowledge my ability to piss off an entire continent
In one fell swoop.
in one fell swoop.
And we are looking at a timeout right now. Oh, an official review.
Where they officially review it.
So apparently we do have mics with the referees. So they might be able to tell us a little bit about what's going on.
Will can just yell at me to shut up when he's ready.
If we do get the information, we will, of course, provide it to you. However, if there is a referee call to be made, we probably have absolutely no idea.
I really hope they say it instead of us. We're just going to mess it up.
And we would rather it come straight from the zebra's mouth.
Yeah, if you're making me guess, I'm just going to make something up. And you wouldn't know the difference at home.
And another timeout is being called. Oh, it's a team timeout. So everyone's just taking a little bit of air, a little bit of break.
This timeout will be followed by an official timeout, followed by another team timeout, followed by halftime, followed by Tuesday.
Oh, and we got
There we
5
go.
seconds being called.
Zip in the front of the pack. Line opens up. And lead jammer goes to Zip and Rose City. 2.5 remaining in the first half. No points for anybody.
I think Zip might have seen a couple of people in the box and wanted to set up for a new jam. But those people in the box are arch rival. So we've got a couple, is that 3 blockers?
I see 3, yes. 1, 2, 3.
We have Dad Bod as the lone blocker for this.
Poor Dad Bod. That's like the loneliest time in Derby when you're the only blocker out there.
One is the loneliest number.
One is the loneliest number.
And Bonnie making quick work through that pack.
Yeah, that has to be the most depressing number when you're the only one against Bonnie.
To reset and get back to the action. We've got 1.5 minutes left of this first half on Jam 23.
Lauren Much doing something I don't think humans were ever meant to do and getting through the pack for lead jammer.
Yep, Laura Much out of lead jammer. I think we might have had a track cut penalty assessed to the arch rival. So we have a power jam situation in favor of Rose City.
Yeah, Hart in the penalty box. Good block in there. That is Dad Bod, I believe. All the blockers look, say, okay, we didn't do anything wrong. And yeah, just as Hart was standing and just as arch rival lost 2 blockers, they call it off. So they will have only 2 blockers out there.
Yep, we have an official review being called as well. Occasionally these are used just as timeouts.
But they're talking, so it might not be. But they're doing the hand signal, so I think it is. But it might not be. I don't know. We're not going to speculate, or we will.
We can specify it in our minds, but we probably won't give accurate information.
Honestly, as long as we get the names right, we can pretty much tell them anything is happening. Oh, no, look, an elephant.
There's an elephant in St. Louis?
Yeah, somewhere. I don't know.
And we're having a little love on the stream for the design graphic for the tournament. It is fantastic.
Sure it is. I've been watching.
We don't actually know who designed it, but if we find that information out, we will let you know for sure. At the moment, we're looking at a score of Arch Rival on 42, Rose City on 88. Rose City has been chipping up some points in the last couple of jams. But this is still...
For a 46, or for a, what is it, 46-point difference, it has had a very back-and-forth feel.
Yes, absolutely. So we haven't seen Arch Rival have any kind of lead change at the moment, but the way that some of those high-scoring jams have gone recently, we could see Arch Rival just inching past Rose City. We don't know. Rose City is definitely formidable with their current WFTA rankings.
Don't mess that one up.
I know. They are number 1, and they are 5-0 on their last 5 games. So
they've also won, I think, 4 of the last 5 championships.
I mean, you know, they may...
When there was a championship.
Yeah, they may know what they're doing. Maybe know what they're doing. If you are interested in staying with us the whole weekend, this is the last game of today, but we have jam-packed. Yes, I said jam-packed because I am that kind of cheesy. We've got jam-packed 2 more game days.
I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, so Arch was looking for a review on the jammer there, the jammer penalty. Thoughtfully brought to us by Ninja Sassam, who is definitely one referee that you sit and pay attention to when she's talking to you.
Yeah, I didn't. Oops. But I'm not a skater, so it's okay.
But as I was saying,
I probably will have to go to the box during halftime.
Yes. We have a couple of nice, fun games tomorrow. These are all in Central Time. At 10 a.m., we have Aftershocks versus Denver. That is an MRDA game. We have game 2 of the day. It will be Casco Bay versus Gatekeepers.
Well, looks like I'm going based on the crowd's reaction that they... Hold on, I can't say it yet.
We will wait for further review, but it does look like somebody might have been released from the box. It might not have been the jammer.
No, it was not, unfortunately.
We're never sure.
Someone looks antsy, though.
Yeah, if you want to be watching either of these 2 teams play tomorrow, we've got Crime City versus Rose City at 2 p.m. Central Time. And then the game after is New Skids versus Arch Rival at 4 p.m. And then the final game of the day tomorrow will be the Gatekeepers versus Denver. That will be at 6 p.m.
I'd say we hope you're watching, but we don't care. We don't get paid for that, based on streaming numbers.
I mean, if we did, that would be fantastic. But we do want you to be able to watch some of the fantastic derby that the Gatekeepers Arch Rival are putting on this 3-day fantastic tournament.
Or don't. Go outside. Do something in the sun. Or do. It doesn't really matter. It's your life.
You can do whatever your heart desires.
You can do what you want. Unless you're on one of the teams, then you have to be here.
Yeah, I mean, if you're on one of the teams and you aren't here, then that might be a little sad for you.
Oops. And this is the longest last 2 minutes in Derby. We promised you, curse of the announcer. We were not lying.
Yep, the announcer's curse has most definitely been in full effect for this. But we are back in the action for what might be the last jam of this half. You have Arch Rival just locking down that jammer at the front. A nice little assist there. That's from 24 Beans for Rose.
Hart is out of the box, but no movement there. Nice defense there by Arch Rival. Unfortunately, it does draw a penalty.
And Bonnie Thunders is through for lead. We have number 89, Hart, as the jammer for Arch.
I'm Ron Burgundy. What? I'm not even going to guess on that one.
Penalty being assessed there to Tenacity. I mean,
and my memory isn't what it used to be.
Yeah, we are old people now. We aren't our spring chickens anymore.
Yeah. So I just Ron Burgundy'd it. I went, I just went off the teleprompter. Or we don't have teleprompters. We have sheets of paper. But you get it.
Well, we are getting ready to start.
Usually I wouldn't even talk about that, but I love Ron Burgundy, and any reason to use his name. This is perfect for me.
I just heard what sounded like a horn to the side.
It's as long as it's not a vuvuzela.
Oh, yeah, no, that's a little vicious.
Oh, okay, that was Star Spangled Hammer's fault.
Hammer taking the blame for that, but we are not going to blame you for sticking around for these games. We are back for Rose City versus Arch Rival. And it looks like we have the infamous Vicious Van Gogh at the front.
For now. Something like that.
Being really locked down. Fantastic little defense there from Una Roll. But Vicious Van Gogh is out.
Lead jammer. Back inside the pack, looking for room, squeezing through past a few, but pushing that pack forward.
But those blockers are not making it easy for her right now. I see Gallifrey was looking to do a little bit of offense, but just pulling back to make sure that the pack is not out of play.
You see how the defense really is following Gallifrey. The command.
And we have a pack basically spread around the entire of the track right just then.
And then closing once again like an accordion. Worst sound ever. All right, there is.
Lauren Much is fighting her way through right now.
That was just the initial pass. 4 points. Arch Rival bringing it up to 8 on the jam. Fighting back now 96-50 in the second half.
What a fantastic jam to start off our second half. We have a 46-point differential, but Arch Rival, if we can get a few more of those jams with 8 points, we might see a little lead change. We never know.
And there we go. It is Thunderdame through the pack. That's a lead jammer for Rose, having to recycle back to the inside.
Now Arch Rival's jammer just being pinballed through the pack with those blockers.
That is Slamwich. More like a hoagie right now.
Bolt action.
Actually, that's more burrito because it's kind of wrapped.
And now I'm hungry for burritos. We saw Bolt action doing some fantastic blocking there. We've got Dadbard and Shira. Beyond Thunderdame being told to call it by the bench there. Getting 7 points on, and Rose City have officially broken the century there. So we've got 53-point differential.
You got to give it up for Arch Rival's defense. This is Rose City's offense can just blow the top off a game at any time, but Arch Rival has not let them do it and has held them back and kept it close in relative derby terms, not real sports terms, but
yeah, we haven't seen any jams over the 20-point mark. What we do see is number 68, that is Swanson, out for Arch.
Swanson up the middle, getting some help, but not enough. Drawing back. Bonnie Thunder's coming to the pack, calls it off. 1 point. Arch Rival 1-0.
We can see the awareness of both of these teams with their jammers, really keeping an eye on where the opposing jammer is and knowing just when to call it off.
It's Zip and Hart out there with an empty Permobile penalty box, getting past the last blocker. And it is lead jammer Zip.
Oh, that looked like a big hit and a tumble. Somebody is being sent to the box.
Everybody's yelling at each other. There we go. Okay, and it's going to be a power jam. And it's also going to go the full 2 minutes. Hart out of the pack with an opportunity. Great balance, staying in bounds, 4 points.
That is a little chef's kiss right there. We had a 3-4 differential.
And
Hart being aware that a cut might have happened, so deciding to re-energize back into the pack.
Great awareness, and there goes Zip through the pack, picking up 4. Remember, Zip did pick up the initial before going to the penalty box.
Yep.
And it is going to go the full 2 minutes.
Fantastic
Zip through the
little
pack.
apex there.
Yeah, untouched, except for by the air.
We currently have 2 blockers in the pack. That was a big hit there.
That's what happens when you hit more people than you. Very fast on wheels.
Some big hits going on there, and that is Hart back through the pack.
Hart back in the pack, going up against Cassie Beck. Tarantula unable to connect on the hit, and there it goes. Yeah, both of them through it for 4 points to finish it off. That'll bring the score up 16-12 on the jam. Now 1:15:67 as we're about to hit 23 minutes remaining in this third game of our first day of the 16th day of the 6th month of the 2023rd year of since something happened.
Yeah, so we saw a nice big high-scoring jam there from both teams. Beyond Thunderdame is looking to annihilate some blockers' dreams right now.
And there goes Beyond Thunderdame, beyond the pack, and picking up lead jammer. But Skeevenix through the pack.
Skeevenix had a fantastic first jam on Beyond Thunderdame, knowing how to call it, making sure that her opponent didn't get any more points and putting 3 on herself.
Yeah, Rose has not been able to have huge jams. I believe 16 was still their top scoring jam, and they've only done it once. So Arch has done a really good job of limiting the amount of damage that Rose has done per jam.
Yeah, we've definitely seen some situations where Rose will dominate and be putting on like 16-point jams, jam after jam, but we are making sure that we're seeing them locking down a lot more.
And Vicious Van Gogo, lead jammer.
It looks like a forearm penalty was assessed to somebody there.
And 1 to beat. There goes Gogo, but calls it off. So I believe, yeah, we have 4-0 on that jam.
There was a nice little smile at the end between Vicious Van Gogo and Lauren Much, enjoying skating against one another.
Well, you know, if you're not having fun playing it, what are you doing here?
What is the point? Exactly. And we hope you are having fun enjoying this phenomenal game.
Fun is our currency.
Exactly.
I'm currently at like €8 or 3,000 Canadian. I don't know the exchange.
We don't know the conversion rate
I'm trying
anymore.
to get every continent angry.
Okay. This is his goal for the day or the weekend?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. We have a timeout being called. I think that's an official timeout.
Antarctica, you're next.
I don't know if you can hear the sound behind me of a nice horn being played. Do you believe that is one of our gatekeepers, David Soul?
Either that or it's Rosh Hashanah.
Maybe. Maybe. But yeah, while this official official timeout is going on, maybe we should do a little sponsor read. So, promo, our vision, Missouri is a state in which LGBTQ plus people, every demographic, race, ethnicity, zip code, and experience are valued and thriving. Our mission, promo, confronts systematic inequalities to liberate the full spectrum of LGBTQ plus community from discrimination and oppression. So we are very thankful to all of our sponsors and all of our volunteers. If you are local to St. Louis, we would love you to be in-house. There are still tickets that you can come and enjoy the fantastic atmosphere that we are experiencing in St. Louis at Queenie Park.
So we've got 21 minutes remaining during this official timeout. The official timeout is not 21 minutes.
No, we have 21 minutes left on the board.
Yes.
If we find out what this official timeout was called for, we will let you know. But I'm sure the teams are enjoying just having a little break to reset.
This is where I wish we had music. All right. There we go. It's Bonnie Thunders and Swanson.
And it looks like we have some micro packs with 2 blockers in the box for Rose City and 1 for Arch Rival.
Bonnie Thunders to the outside, does get lead, gets reabsorbed back into the pack, and then goes back out of the pack. And that's the sound of Thunder.
Fantastic hit there from 23.
So it looks like, yeah, we're going to have 1 in the Permobile penalty box for each team. Bonnie Thunders sees Swanson in front and just decides to call it off before allowing any points. It'll be a 4-0 jam in favor of Rose City.
So we are just seeing both teams kind of, one team getting 3 or 4 points, the next team getting 3 or 4 points, just kind of back and forth right now. Since our infamous double digits jams.
Yes, it was infamous. It will live in the history of what I've already forgotten. It's Zip and Skeevy Nicks. It's Zip.
And a little twist and a turn, and Zip is out of that pack.
I often say that sometimes skaters live up to their names, but lives up to the sound effect too. Zip back inside, coming from the out, moving laterally, picks up 4 points. As it looks like we are going to, we are going to have a power jam now in favor of Rose City.
Rose City already with 4 points on the board, having a little extra time to be able to put on at least 4 more. If not, we'll see if we can get them up to the double digits there.
We'll find out now. Good blocking there. The defense of Arch Rival not relenting. Good. Moving back all the way into turn one.
And everyone right now is just locking down.
Skeevinix inside the pack.
Skeevinix juking, trying to get around those blockers. Meanwhile, Zip is at the back being held.
Remember, this did have a power jam in favor of Rose City, so Zip is in control of the clock, but, you know.
Ball action, knocking Zip back to the outside.
Yeah, Zip was in control. And you know what? You're on top. You might as well kill that clock a little bit.
Yep, if they've got the time, let's get some more on.
Nobody's figured out the new rankings.
Yep, we do have a little view of the chat.
I believe the ranking system is a dartboard somewhere in Minnesota.
Yes, that sounds about right. The rankings are very crazy. There was a little pandemic that may have turned the
disrupted it a little bit.
Turned the Derby world as well as the real world upside down, because Derby isn't part of the real world.
Well, there's 1,100 reasons I'm glad we're back.
We see some wonderful tripods going on at the front. But that is Pork Chop Slamwich trying to get through. Being dragged back. I'm not entirely sure who had lead jammer there.
Yes.
Somebody got lead and it got called off, but no points were made. And that's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. You don't need points every time.
Yeah. You don't have to make points every time.
Everyone's an MVP at Sibling Rivalry because we don't have MVPs for every game.
Everyone hustling at that jammer line right now. And the sound of wheels slamming on the floor.
Some tough defense here starting this jam as we're already 20 seconds into it.
Arch Rival is trying to lock down Lauren Much. I think we saw some offense by Alicia Nisbet-Smith trying to get Lauren Much through, but we currently have no jammers out of the pack. And we're about 30 seconds into this jam.
And there comes Lauren Much. Lead jammer Rose City out of nowhere.
Just spinning.
Star past the dad bod.
Lauren Much has a fantastic footwork control and is just able to slice through, spin back around, and then get through. Well, I do believe that is Dad Bod putting some points on the board.
Just in time.
Dad Bod's been doing a phenomenal job blocking, but it's nice to see that they are also very comfortable with the star.
Absolutely. Dad gets pushed out, having to recycle Much back inside the pack on, I believe, a third scoring pass. It's 8-4 on this jam as we have about 30 seconds remaining in the jam. Just past the fourth quarter mark.
And it looks like Rose is just going to play the long game. Just slicing through, getting some points, not worrying about what the other jammer is doing.
Yeah, that was a hard fought for. Maybe the hardest of fought of this jam. Not like that one.
Just slicing through, waiting for that time to cool down.
And at 16 points, Rose City, 7 points, Arch Rival, so 151-79 as we're about to hit the 14-minute mark. And then it's bedtime.
Yes. We do suggest that you get a nice early night because we will be back once again with the Renegade Master at 10 a.m. We've got a game for Aftershocks versus Denver at 10 a.m. on Saturday. That is Central Time, 10 a.m. see Bunny Thunders and Swanson battling. Fantastic hit there from Tarantula, trying to keep Swanson in. Last line of defense is Tenacity.
Yes.
And Tenacity is holding fort, but
that was tenacious.
That was. And it looks like Tenacity and Tarantula having to work a little extra hard because they had some blockers off the track. We see Beans coming in, offering some offense as they're coming out the penalty box.
Boots, what's your favorite Tenacious D song?
Tribute. Tribute
That's a good one.
Is just heartwarming.
Absolutely.
Swanson being held at the back there. That is a four wall that I would have nightmares about skating against.
I just have nightmares about skating.
And that's why we hold microphones instead.
That's why my skating career was all like 3 months. 0 hits.
Swanson going, you know what, I'm going to call that. We see Bunny Thunders telling her blockers, good job. We love some in-team appreciation there.
I know we have Beyond Thunderdame. That's one jammer. But my eyes aren't what they would be, what they used to be. Heart, yes. See, once they put on the scoreboard, we can't mess it up at that point.
Once the scoreboard comes up, we can actually see the names very well.
And then we have someone to blame it on.
Beyond Thunderdame is battling through at the front there. Arch Rival not wanting to give an inch. Nice offense from Gallifrey. And we see some penalties being assessed.
I'll put 2 in the box for Arch. As we do now have a lead jammer. It took about 35 seconds. As Rose loses a blocker.
We see a couple of bodies on the floor.
Yeah, everyone's kind of like, yeah, yes, sure.
People getting tired. You know, we've still got another 10 minutes of the game. We've got another 4 points on for Rose City.
You're all doing great. Is everybody having fun?
Yay, I feel like some people might have heard us.
5 people having a great time.
People are having fun.
Is everybody okay? If you're okay, don't make noise. Perfect.
Everyone's okay.
Everyone's okay.
We love that. So at the moment, we have Arch Rival with 86 and Rose City. We've hit the 155 mark.
And if you're joining us on Twitch, thanks for joining us for the All Texas Rodeo. No, this is roller derby.
But, you know, if there is a rodeo and it's on a different weekend, send us the link.
I would totally watch a combination of derby and rodeo. Like a bull has to chase the pack around also.
That would be terrifying and amusing
that would
at the
be
same
awesome.
time. So a timeout is being called. Or a timeout might have been called. Something was called. Lots of blockers are in the bin.
Oh, wow. Well, you know what? Vicious can be lead jammer.
Yeah.
Because right through the pack, so much speed. And there is Zip.
I've had Shira Powell's trying to get a cut called there.
I believe that's the first time Zip hasn't gotten lead. But I might be wrong. Was anybody paying attention? Okay.
Either way, we have a little 3 points on the board for Arch Rival. We've still got some blockers in the box. And it looks like another an official timeout is being called.
This time brought to us by the officials. Who called it?
The officials need love too. They need some rest too. They are working extremely
Thank you, the one
hard.
person that's also officiating.
We love the lone cheer in the crowd.
I'm just glad one person's paying attention. Like, then I know I've done my job. Like, okay, cool. I'm just not talking to air.
Oh, so we're being told Zip didn't get lead in her first jam either. Thank you, OMG, WFT? WTF, sorry. We are glad to have everyone here today, and we've got Lauren Much and Swanson as our jammers for Jam 14.
Yeah, that's what it says up there. Great defense here by both teams. Still 35 seconds into this and no lead jammer. Swanson having to recycle back into turn one. Simonis along with Stan. Some great defense.
Swanson trying to just slam their way in to the pack. But Laura Much out. I know this is the kind of thing we say a lot, but these points are really hard fought for.
Yeah.
And we see Rose City putting on 4 more on the board. We are at 8 minutes and 15 seconds. Jam 14 of the second half.
Eight minutes left. All right, it is Bonnie Thunders and Vicious Van Gogh. Former teammates.
Yes, they were
from their Gotham days when they won a few championships together. That's the word.
Yeah. Yeah, Gotham definitely had a blessing with both of these skaters back in the day. But they are much more rivals right now.
Arch rivals, if you will.
Well now.
It's Bonnie Thunder's lead jammer. As the former teammate does make it out of the pack. Pack is speeding up. I mean, that's really your best defense against Bonnie Thunders is just try to go faster, but it's not going to work, but you just try it anyway.
I would actually love to see if we could get like a little race around the track and see the timings of those to see if anyone can get.
We
at
don't
the same
do
level.
that. Okay, this really easy to do, and we're not going to do it ever.
It's mostly for my halftime
Why would you
amusement.
want statistics?
Why
that
do I want
makes
statistics?
sense.
Because statistics make the world go round sometimes.
Don't you know that they scored 44 Wiggledy Wiggles,
Okay.
25 squares, I don't know.
It's
and
been
the
a
color
long day,
red.
guys. It's been a long day. Right now we are having a team timeout. I think that is Arch Rival calling that team timeout.
Because we want this game to keep going.
Yep. We have 6.5 minutes left on the clock. Current score, we have Arch Rival with 91, Rose City with 163. We'll see what these 6 minutes bring us. But we hope you are brought back to come and see more Derby in the rest of the days. The rest of the days of this weekend, which is Saturday, we have 5 games for you, and Sunday we got 4 games.
Yeah, if you come for more Derby today, you're just going to be disappointed. There's only 6.5 minutes left. That was not a wise ticket purchase.
That team timeout is ending now.
Yay, someone's really happy about that. All right, so looks like we have Thunder Dame for Rose City. And I can't see once again for Arch. It's Slamwich, okay.
Both jammers are hustling their way at the back of the pack. Just a slamming of bodies right now.
It's riveting. The whole ground is shaking, but they're also standing right in front of us. And it's Slamwich lead jammer.
And it looks like we have Arch with the lead, Slamwich coming back round.
There was a star pass there, but it was called off.
Yeah, that was Stan, the woman. They took that star pass there. Very sneaky little star pass.
Pretty sneaky there.
I like a sneaky star pass. I like it when I don't see it and then I realize that there's another jammer on the
Nope.
track. Nope?
Nope.
Well, now.
Nope. It's Zip and Skeevy Nix. Skeevy to the outside. Cassie back with the final block.
Cassie just ending.
And drawing a penalty on Skeevy Nix. So now a power jam in favor of Rose City. Zip back inside the pack, moving to the outside. Deflecting two blockers, holding it up, but no.
Oh, a cut being called there. So we're going to have a little jammer switcheroo.
Because if you have two jammers in the box, that's boring.
So for those who are unaware, the second jammer into the box will serve the same amount of time as the jammer who had just finished their penalty.
Yeah, they didn't change that.
They didn't change that.
They did not change
Good.
that. Yet.
Also, because the lead jammer went into the box, they then lose lead jammer status. So this is going to go for the full 2 minutes. I'm remembering things now from Derby.
That's what this is?
Yes, apparently it is.
And there goes Zip through the pack. That's the first 4 points of the jam as Skeevy Nix also picks up 4.
Skeevy Nix being taken to the outside there. And it looks like we're just going to have a little backwards roller derby for the last few seconds
we're
of
going to
this jam.
speak in reverse now. No, we're not going to do that anymore.
We can't do the reverse words as well as the reverse derby.
No.
Then the world will implode.
I think that creates a time cycle. I'm going to have to ask Gallifrey after this because I believe a Time Lord would be the source of all information on that.
Yeah, we will be getting, some Time Lord information for you.
Or
at
science.
A later point.
We're going to have a science lesson about time once we understand it.
So, never.
That's a whole different game.
Science is not a game you play with.
It's a game you lose. Anyways, it's Lauren Much.
Defying the laws of physics.
Ouch. And Lauren Much going to get the penalty. We've got a power jam for Vicious Van Gogo.
Vicious facing the last line of defense there, but is out. And it looks like they are trying to keep Una Roll behind them.
Gogo having to slow for a moment.
Gogo just wedged in there.
Yeah, there goes Dad Bod knocking out the brace and half the pack along with it. 4 points on the board for Vicious.
We currently don't have a lead jammer, so this is just going to keep running.
Yeah, Lauren had it, then lost it, and now nobody has it. Because this is why we don't have nice things.
Vicious did look to check to see, am I lead? Can I call it? No, I can't. Okay. Just wanted to check. Would be nice if I could.
Please, can I?
And in this jam, it looks like Arch Rival have hit the century.
Is Laura much forced to recycle? I don't. That was maybe a reenactment there.
It was a historical reenactment.
There you go. Of half a second before. Under 1 minute remaining. I'm not going to tell you how many jams are going to be left,
No.
just because I want to go to bed.
I just want to give a shout out there. Una Roll, Vicious Van Gogh didn't get her point, and Una Roll went to check with the referee and did a little power 5 there.
Another 4 added on there, so it's going to be 16-8 on the jam. Under 30 seconds remaining in what might potentially be our final jam. 44 more jams.
Yeah, we're definitely not going to announce as curse any of that.
No, I'm done after this jam. You're welcome. It's Swanson and Bonnie Thunders.
Bonnie Thunders for Rose City facing up. A nice little 4-blocker sandwich there, trying to hold Bonnie back. Meanwhile, Swanson is facing a tripod of doom.
Period clock has come to a close. So we are on bonus derby time now, about 70 seconds remaining.
And at the moment, we haven't had anyone called lead. Everyone is just being held right now. We've got roughly 1 minute of this jam left.
I don't know. Anybody could win it.
The treasure we find is the friends we make along the way.
Or the bodies on the track. Left behind. And we have a lead jammer. 1 minute and 35 seconds into it. That was not easy.
And we see Bonnie Thunders doing a little bit of blocking there to try and stop her opponent getting out.
Defensive jamming. Whoops. Oh.
Swanson out and round.
And calls it off. That's our game, folks. Unofficial final, 185-110. Rose City skating away with the victory, but Arch Rival looking pretty good.
What a fantastic game. An unofficial score right now. I don't know if they're going to try and contest any points. I want to say that Rose City has won this game.
Well, if we went by the old WFTDA rankings, I think actually Arch would have run this game,
Okay.
but they fixed that, I think. So.
Okay. But we will wait for the score to be made official. Yep, that is the final score. The winners of the final game today are Rose City with 185 points.
We're not going to bring you MVPs because we're not doing that this tournament. So we're just going to say goodbye.
We're going to say goodnight. We hope to see you again tomorrow.
Or not, I really don't care. I'm Champ Unkind.
I'm Go-Go Boots. Have a good night.
Have a decent night or something. Bye.